What's up? It's Shelby and Kayla, and
Hey.
it's between us and you guys. Maybe we should have added that to the title.
Yes.
Between us and you with Shelby and Kayla. How you doing today, girl? Yeah.
I am doing good. We were just talking
Yeah.
about this. It's like a rainy day in May and feeling a lot of feelings, but I'm here and we're doing this, and I
Yeah, me
always love
too, me
talking to
too.
you.
I
I
know
always
it's
love our
like, wasn't it
topics.
supposed to rain in April? Instead of Arkansas was like, nah, we're gonna wait till May. We're gonna throw you guys all off today.
This whole
It's
weather
weird.
year has been insane,
Yes,
but we
exactly.
just go with it. We
I'm
go with
doing
it.
okay. I
How are
got back
you?
from Vegas. I went spent a whole week in Vegas, by the way. Forgot to tell you that. So that was fun. But there is too much Vegas. Like there is a such thing as too much time in Vegas. Yeah.
Yes.
Oof.
I
It
have never
was
gone for more than three
yeah,
days
it
at a
was
time.
I'm not allowed to say what kind of conference, but an insurance conference that Nick works for, a big name. Anyway, so every time you mention their name, anyways, you have to go through compliance. So anyways, so we went out there for that and we're like, oh, we don't have kids the weekend before. And we're like, let's just go out the week before. Yeah, that was, yeah. 7 days later, I was like, bro, I'm ready to
It
go.
was a
About
lot of
3 days
Vegas.
after drinking all day, I was like, I'm done. I am not as young as I once used to be. So here we go.
Ugh,
Yeah. Yeah. And one, no money.
Vegas.
One, no
Yes.
money. So
Okay,
yeah.
well, I'm glad
Yeah.
you're having.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay,
No,
so
yeah,
today we're
okay.
talking about decision fatigue, when you're the one that everyone looks to. So that's our topic today. And also, and obviously, it comes at a perfect time for both of us, right? Our topics are crazy. We've planned these out like weeks ago, and every time we've done one, it's like, why is this so accurate in my life right now?
Yeah. I so I was
Yeah.
like, what are we going to talk about today? So I popped in, looked at the document, and it just so happens today
Ugh,
and yesterday my daughter has been sick. She hasn't felt well. She has a fever actually, so she's home from school. But like
mm,
it's even those little decisions. For example, yesterday she didn't have the fever but didn't feel well, and I'm like, should she go? Should she not go?
yeah.
And making that decision and then deciding today was easier because there was the fever, but stuff like, does she need to go to the doctor? Should I take her to the doctor?
Yeah.
Should I not take her to the doctor? This, that, the other, trying to make all of these decisions, and then you finally
Hmm.
sit down at your desk to do some work
Yeah.
and you feel exhausted
Yeah, and
already.
I mean, I'm in
So
the
that's
same
where I'm
way
at.
because last night I needed, again, simple things of I haven't slept since getting back from Vegas. So I was like, we're gonna go to bed early. And then she wants to argue, and it's like, I don't care. Then I had to make a decision of, yeah, sure, you can sleep with me because the only way she was gonna go to bed an hour early because mom needed to go to bed an hour early. And
Yep.
yeah, this morning at school, her school's really great about like giving us last minute notifications. And so we pull up to school and like all these kids are in their swimsuits and I was like, did I miss something? So then I like walk her to class and I was like, is there like some kind of pool day going on? And they're like, oh, no, 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 that's for the older kids. I was like, oh, thank God, because she was about to just play in the pool with her uniform on. I really had no time to like go and do anything. But it's the decisions that we're making in those small moments, like you're talking about. Do you need to take her to the doctor? Do you not to? Do I need to go home to get change of clothes? Do I have to bring it back? And it's just like those things add up. And then whenever we are in our business making decisions for our clients, we're like, okay, well, here we are again. But I'll say, my decision making in my business becomes so much easier for me than in my personal life. Yeah,
Yes, I'm so glad you said that. I feel the same
yeah.
way so often. It is. It's like so much harder
Oh,
for me to decide what I want to
yeah.
eat for dinner, like when I go to a restaurant, than it is for me to make a decision about my business or how to handle a situation or something like that. Why do you feel
So
that way?
I
Why do
actually
you feel
learned
like
this in
it's easier in your
therapy,
business?
about myself. So it's about my business gives back to me. Like I find fulfillment in my business every day. So like I find fulfillment in what I do. It is how I I was always worried about being a workaholic, which borderline, yes. But she says you're not really a workaholic because you're not escaping a reality to work. She said you work because you enjoy what you do. It gives you happiness. It's just like you with your yoga. You go and do yoga because it fulfills you. It gives you happiness. And so I was like, okay, okay. And so I think that that's why making decisions in my business makes me happier than what I'm going to eat for dinner. I mean, honestly, I would be on a liquid diet if I could because I would make a smoothie, go to bed, make a smoothie, go. I mean, it's just like, okay, great. That's what I'm going to do. I'm a routine person. And that's what it would just already be. That decision would be made for me because I'm not a food person. Like, I'm just don't care what it tastes like or anything. It's probably weird, but it is what it is. And so, and I'm making money. If I'm making decisions in my business, it's because I'm making money, unless it's a decision that I may be losing money on. But it's, oriented around money, which also is one of my drivers as well in life. And I don't think what I eat for dinner or where we go for vacation is going to really do anything for me.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think
Yeah.
too, we're both very smart, we're both intelligent, we're both good at prioritizing, and we're probably doing that without realizing it.
Yeah.
The prioritizing the highest return on investment when it comes to spending energy on making decisions. Do I want to spend more
Uh,
time making a decision about what color pen
yeah.
to order? No, I have zero cares in the world. Zero cares. Just give me a pen. I don't care. But I know
Yeah.
some people will like him and ha and read reviews and
Mm-mm.
this and that and the other. I don't care. Just give me the thing that I need. And then when it comes time to make a decision that is actually going to be a bigger return on investment for me,
Yeah.
be a higher impact sort of a decision, then that's where I want to
That's so
focus my
true.
energy. But so often,
Yeah.
yeah. And as women, I feel like, actually, I don't feel like this.
Yes.
I know
Yeah.
that we're bombarded with decisions as mothers and women all day long that men never have to attend to, even when
Oh
it
God.
comes to stuff like
Yes.
beauty standards. Beauty standards. What products are we going to use? Where are we going to get our hair
Yep.
done? How are we going to do our nails? What are we going to wear? These are all decisions that we are having to
Hmm.
make every single day, and so many women I talk to are like, we would actually feel so freed if we didn't have to make those decisions, if we didn't
Yeah.
have to be confined by, you know, the beauty standards that are,
But yeah.
not to go down that
Yeah.
rabbit hole. But it's a whole thing that we are spending time and energy and money on making decisions and then of course executing those decisions. They're exhausting.
Right.
Frankly, they're exhausting. And at this point in my life, I don't care anymore. Like you were saying about food, I feel that way
Yeah.
about clothes and about this is I
Yeah.
have maybe 3 outfits that are on repeat,
Every morning
and that's
I
just what we
suck
do.
so bad at choosing my outfits because I go through like, well, the little phases of our cycles, right? So like on some weeks I'm like, okay, I feel real good in this. And then like other weeks I'm like, why did I think I look good in this? Like this is the fattest I've ever seen myself, or whatever. And so I can't make a decision whenever it comes to my clothes because it really depends on what my attitude is that day, how much sleep I got, did I drink enough water the day before, am I bloated? I mean, today we're like looking casual because I'm like at the office all day, so it really depends on what I'm doing. But I'm not gonna lie, I was like, I'm gonna be on video tomorrow. I really need to do a full face of makeup, and I didn't. I mean, it kind of looks, anyways, I didn't. And so it's like I allowed myself to show myself grace, and because I know that everybody watching this knows we show up as our authentic self, right? And I was like, ponytail and, half face of makeup, that's what today is going to be because that's how I'm going to have to show up today. And it's a hard thing to make that decision because then you worry about the judgment because any decision we make is going to be judged, right? Like, is the other person happy with us? Did we make enough money? Could we made more money with that decision or could have been done, dealt with differently? Should we have taken our kid to the doctor? Speaking of that, my baby was in the hospital when she was 18 months old because she had the flu. And I had never dealt with her having a serious like illness before. And she literally passed out on the couch. I freaked out, and the doctor was like, "You barely made it in time." Talk about like making you feel like a terrible mother and that I didn't make the right decision, even though I wasn't educated. Like I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know her having a fever for 5 days was bad. Like it wasn't 105, right? The doctor says if 105, you take her to the hospital. Like, so and when I was sick as well, I also had the flu at the time. So it was like one of those things where you're like, well, great, now I could have killed my kid. You know? And it's exhausting.
It's because 90, yeah, it's because
Right.
99%
Yeah.
of the time they dismiss us. And so
Yes.
then it becomes hard to make
Yeah.
that decision, to make the decision in that moment. But there's so much weight on our shoulders
Hmm.
when it comes to all of that. And same boat as you, yesterday I washed my hair and I was debating whether or not I wanted to like full blow dry it, which is what I normally do. But right now I'm having a
Yeah.
lot of hormonal stuff go on. And so my hair is like not very strong. And so I didn't want to subject it to heat. So I was like, I'm just
Yep.
going to let it air dry. We're just going to let it air dry. I'm going to show up, like a poodle.
Yes.
I don't really care.
Hmm.
I don't care anymore because the truth of the matter is that I took time to even take care of my hair,
Yes.
to like wash my hair, to care for myself. Why are we calling
It's not.
that, why would that even be lazy in anyone's book? Why am I looking at
Hmm.
myself thinking I didn't do enough? I should have done more with my hair. I should have done more with my appearance.
Yes.
That's
I
just
hate that
total
so
BS.
much.
And the and it's exhausting
Yeah.
for women to have to make those decitions day in and
So
day
have
out. So,
you ever felt
yes.
the pressure to always have the answer for everyone? Yeah. I was like, obviously,
Yeah.
we always have the answers, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, it even like goes and it goes to like my kid. Like,
Yes.
last night I'm trying to work out and she's like, Mom, where's my stool? And I want to be like, bitch, it's in the pantry. Like, it's in the pantry. You went to the pantry 5 minutes ago to get a snack. You put your stool in there. Now you're asking me. And it's just like, she obviously needed some communication. She needed some connection. And her way of doing that was, well, mom knows where everything's at. I'm just going to ask her, you know?
I think that's a really good insight that you
Yeah.
make. That is probably why they do that, is because they just want to be near us, they want to be close to us, but for
Yeah.
sure it becomes exhausting. It's fatiguing to be paying attention to something and then distracted by this question, that
Yeah.
question, the other question. We were both married in a previous life, right? So, depending on
Hmm.
your choice of partner, this can be more or less
Yeah.
intense. In my case, it was pretty intense. Like I was the default keeper of all of the information
All
for
right.
everything, and not because I wanted to be, but because no one
Yeah.
else took the responsibility for it. And so I became this default person that had all of the information, knew what was in the cupboards, knew what we needed to get at the
Hmm.
grocery store, knew what time the doctor's appointments were, knew where the doctor's appointment, all of this stuff. And so coming at you from
Yeah.
all directions, asking questions, um, is exhausting. And it's hard to explain that, I think, sometimes to people,
Hmm.
the people who are asking the questions. When it's our
I mean, but
children,
still,
of
you
course,
have to
that's
tell them,
different.
like, sometimes I
But
tell
when
Kinsey,
it's
I'm
other
like, listen,
adults,
mom's
yeah,
tired. I just need to focus. I will come get you in 10 minutes or
yeah,
whatever, some kind of time frame that she can understand. Like, give me 15 minutes. I'll be in your room. I'll come answer any questions you have, but I have to focus, especially if it's a day I'm working too. Like I can't sit there
yeah.
and answer your questions while I'm also trying to write copy for a website. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, I'm curious what your brain looks like in those
Yeah.
moments where you are trying to balance all of these different things, all of these competing priorities,
And they
which is
wonder
an
why we have
element of decision
ADHD.
making. How do Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, how
Mm.
does that feel in your body? Like, how do you feel in your body, maybe during a time or after a period of time when you have been responsible for
Exhausted.
so
So
much
let's
of the
go back
decision making?
to, of course, Vegas. So we briefly talked about this before. It was like he doesn't, I'm a picky eater. He's not a picky eater. So he thinks that me making the decision everywhere we go eat is helping me because I'm the picky eater. But really, he knows after we've been together for so long, he knows what I eat. So why am I the only one making the decision? Like he knows I'm not going to want to go to a sushi restaurant. That's easy. But everywhere has grilled chicken. I will eat chicken all day. I don't care. Like as long as it's got chicken, we always make a joke about chicken nuggets. I will eat chicken nuggets off the kids menu at $1 because I'm older than a child. Apparently that matters. But it's like, it's like I was making the decision like, okay, what are we going to do today? And we have these like things sayings of WWND, so what would Nick do? And then WWSD, what would Shelby do? I'm like straight planner. I like to make sure like every day scheduled out. Like that's how I live my life. He's extremely spontaneous, likes to just go with the flow. So in Vegas, he goes, "We're doing WWND." And I'm like, okay, sure. Yeah, we'll do that. Well, that also backfired because if I'm still making all the decisions, why am I not allowed? I don't want to say allowed, but why can I not schedule out the day so that way I can enjoy it? I can wake up and go from this time to this time, we're going to go here and this is where we're going to eat. And because that's how my brain works. And so if I'm making all the decisions, why can't I make it easier for me? And he doesn't understand that because his brain's not wired that way. He thought he was helping me by allowing me to make the decision.
Yeah, it's almost like you're already in this
Yeah.
environment where there's so much stimulation, and all you're doing
Yes.
is creating a
Yes.
little bit of
Yes.
structure within that. And from my perspective, because I'm similar to that, I know many women
Right.
are, that seems like a smart strategy to maximize your time there and
Mm-hmm.
also to manage your own emotional energy. Some
Yeah.
people are truly just like fly by the seat of their pants all the time. Uh, I know very few of those
Oh,
people, but
right.
they do exist in the world. But I think people like us who are managing households, parents, traveling, we are
Mm-hmm.
running a business, we're managing clients. You kind of have to put some structure around that, or else
Yeah, and it goes back to
it's
your
just going to
original
blow
question,
up in
like
your
how does my
face.
body feel in those moments? Tired. Like I have slept so much since we've gotten home, and I think that I'm just exhausted. Like I'm mentally exhausted, and I carry a bunch of stress like on my shoulders and my neck. And so I go to the chiropractor every week, and I went yesterday, and he was like, "Girl," I was like, I know, just fix me. I'll see you next week." Like I know I got it. I should probably come again this week. But I carry a lot of my stress on my body physically. So I have it in my mind, of course, but then my body really reacts physically with it, which we were talking about earlier with the PCOS and endometriosis. Like when I have those flare-ups, I really think it is related to what's my stress level right now? I haven't slept very well the last couple days. What's my stress level right now? Like I have a huge week because I was gone for 10 days, So it's one of those where how is my body reacting and it kind of holds on to it in a way. And so then what happens? You crave sugar, you crave sleep, you get exhausted, but you have to be efficient with your time. I have to make sure I get my to-dos done. I have to show up for my team. I have to be a mom, and I have a huge event on Thursday that I'm literally going to be at for 12 hours talking to people. I'm like, bro, I'm thinking about taking tomorrow off. Well, okay, so today's Tuesday. Sorry, tomorrow's Wednesday. So I'm thinking about taking Wednesday off. So that way I'm like mentally ready for Thursday because it's gonna exhaust me, you know? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And I think that's really smart to think of your energy in that way
yeah,
because we're managing our energy every single day. And you have permission also to give yourself a day off. Right now, I'm staying at
yeah,
my partner's place. He's gone, he's out of the country for 2 weeks. But part of the reason I'm here is
yep,
because I need some space from the decisions. And we
yes,
know our homes, our home environment also often house a lot of different things that have to be done and decisions. And I'm in a place right now where I just need to
mm-hmm,
maximize whatever energy that I have to get my highest priority things
yeah,
done, and everything else can wait. Like nothing else is important right now. And as women, especially as mothers, we often struggle with giving
Grace.
ourselves
Yeah.
that that freedom, that liberty to say, I'm actually not going to do these things on my list right now. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe I won't do them ever because they don't really matter. I find the more space that I give myself
Yeah.
from my to-do list that is long and ridiculous, the more freedom I give myself to
Yeah.
say no to stuff that's on there. There's certain things that have to be done. Like I
Right.
have to take care of IRS
Yes.
stuff, like these things have to be done. Some things don't actually have to be done,
Mm-hmm.
and you can
Mm-hmm.
delete them forever off of
So
your
how do you
list.
reduce that
You
decision
really
fatigue
can.
then? So you're saying like delete things off of your list. So how else would you do that?
For my decision to fatigue, um, yeah, that's the biggest thing for me right now is deleting things, saying no to
Yeah.
stuff, just saying I'm not even going to allow that to take up space in my brain. If somebody comes at me and wants to know what color
Right.
pins
You
I
order
want
it.
to
Yeah.
order, I just
Yeah.
put it back on them.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care. I don't care. I try to be really clear about the things that do matter. Maybe it's that I want a fine point pen or whatever it is. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
the thing that matters to me. Other than that, I don't care. But I do try to just turn things back over. We were talking about our children. My daughter is almost 12 now. She's very intelligent
Yes.
and can make a lot of decisions for herself now. So I try to empower
Mm-hmm.
her instead of coming to mom all the time with where's this, what's this, what can I have for a snack, all of this, trying to make it really clear for her
Yes.
what she has the power to make decisions about. Because um, the less that I can absorb and the more that I can kind of like push out to others or completely cross off the list, the more space I'm going to have to make the decisions I need to make. When I'm truly fatigued, I
Mm-hmm.
love to
Same.
just sit and not do
Yeah.
anything. That's what I have to do to reset is I will just sit in a
Yeah.
chair in my home. I have a favorite chair in my home and I will just sit there. No music, no TV, and I'll sit there for
Have you
hours.
ever
I'll
done your
just sit
human
there.
design?
It's lovely. Yes,
Okay.
I'm a manifesting generator,
The
but
projector.
I can't
Yeah,
remember
so I'm a
what
projector and
exactly the
we
name of
have
it.
to rest. Like, so we are always going, 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 but really if we don't rest, then we're not productive. So I've really honed into that the last couple years after learning that. Because if I am exhausted, I'm not going to do my best in my work. I'm not going to be the best mom. I'm not going to be the best partner. Like, I'm just going to be like, dude, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
I go numb, and that's just what it is, you know? So I'm the same way. I like to sit and I like to watch reality shows. That's what I like to do. Stupid drama shows that I'm like, y'all make me feel so much better about my life. Thank you.
Ah, I totally get that. I totally get that. I've struggled watching TV for probably the last 6 or 7 years. I think since my divorce, because I have had to go so hard and like hustle so hard, something has happened that's
Yeah,
made it really difficult for me to like sit and watch
yeah,
TV or just like veg out. But
that's
sitting and doing
great.
nothing for some reason
Yeah,
I've been
I would
doing that
freak out.
pretty
If
well.
there
So
wasn't
we
any
just gotta,
noise, I would probably be
yeah.
like, I think I'm in a like psychopath area. Like I don't know what I would be doing. I'd be like, oh my God. And I've noticed, well, so that's like like a symptom of ADHD or whatever. Like if the room is too quiet and like your ears hurt. Anyways, I've like done a bunch of research on it. Because Kinsey complained that it was too quiet in her room a couple weeks ago, and I was like, well, that's a first. And then I was like, I thought I was the only weirdo like that. And he's like, no, it's actually like a symptom of ADHD. Yeah.
That's fascinating. I get
So you're
super
the
disrupted
opposite.
with noise.
Interesting. Okay.
Super disrupted. Like
Okay.
I'm the opposite. If it's I want it completely silent and that to me is so calming. I'll put
Yeah.
bird food, bird seed out for my birds in the feeder and I will just sit there. No music, no nothing, just sit there. And
Yeah.
I might hear some chirping and that's
Well, that is
fine, but
so
I don't want to hear
interesting.
anything
I have
else.
a friend that's an ADHD coach, so I'm definitely going to hit her up about that. Like, hey, tell me more about this. This is how I am. This is how Kayla is. Was it the same
So
or is it different?
fascinating.
It could be like the same, but in different, like on each side of the spectrum, like you don't really know. But that's interesting for sure. Okay, so let's get back to
Yeah,
this. So,
it's a big stream.
I don't know if this would even we'd be able to answer this one. If someone listening feels mentally exhausted from carrying too many decisions, what would you want them to hear? Or maybe we should reframe, let's reframe that. What would we want to hear from somebody as we're mentally exhausted from carrying decisions? Like, let's talk to ourselves.
You know what I have found makes the biggest difference in the world is when
Mm,
people just simply validate you. Is when people, especially people, yeah, yeah. So I found for me, receiving validation from men in particular about these
mm,
issues means the world to me. And not just like flippant, but like, yes, I understand and I see you. I see what you're doing. And maybe even acknowledging
yeah,
that the burden is
yeah.
not fair, the weight is not fair. That to me, when I hear that from other people, when they're like, yes, I
Mm-hmm.
see you, I appreciate you, I acknowledge you, I see what you're doing, it really makes me feel
Yeah,
like, first of all, I'm not imagining it. I'm not alone. And maybe no one can fix it. Maybe that is truly the case. It
yeah.
can't be fixed by anyone but me, by me taking some action here. But just hearing that from other people. So that's what I would say is if you're feeling like this,
Yeah.
I I get it. Like, I get it. I feel that way too. And yeah, it's not
Mm-hmm.
fair. There is an unfair expectation in regards to women and the weight and the decision making and all of that. So I would say that. And then just kind of going back to what I was saying before, the more you can kind of get help from
Yeah.
others, from your loved ones, from people that are in your life, from people at work, the more you can kind of delegate those things out, the
I
better.
love
And the
saying
more
no
you
to
can start
things.
saying no to things,
I started
the
doing
freer
that
you
like
will
a couple
feel.
well,
Yeah.
I like what you
What would you
said.
say?
Because val or words of affirmation is my love language, so validation goes with that. And I actually experienced that this morning. So he has like a young he has two daughters, but the youngest one's pretty active, and like this week he was trying to help me with my kid. Anyway, school was like, hey, half day on the last day. And they only told us like, yesterday. And that's like in 3 days. So anyways, he was like, yeah, I was trying to figure out if I could come up because we live, 2 hours away from each other, come up and help you with her while you're at your event. And I was like, well, what are you talking about? Like, you can't. Like, I was like, his daughter has a recital that night, a piano recital. He was like, oh, yeah, you're right. I was like, yeah, I am. Like, it's on the calendar. So it was like he was trying to be there for me, but then I'm also like, by the way, your daughter has like, and then I was like, so does she have her outfit? Oh
Yep.
no, I don't think no, I'm gonna and her mom doesn't she's not like me. That's all I'm gonna say about that. She's not like me. So it's like, okay, well now, okay, what are we gonna wear? Do I need to bring something down to you? Do you need to go get something from from a boutique down there? Do I need to call her, the owner? I know the owner, like, do I need to call her to like help dress you for this? And then it's like, well, I'm not there to do your hair. So can your sister come over? Because she's older. Like, can she come over and do your hair? Because your dad's not going to do your hair and you don't know how to do your hair. And it's just like, but he was like, hey, listen, like, I want you to know, I really appreciate you and what you actually do for all of us. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Like, don't make me cry, but it's just like, yes, you're right. The affirmation, the validation of like, we are the keepers of the secrets. We are the keepers of the schedule, and we do know everything that's going on. But whenever he asks me, well, what can I do for you? I don't always have an answer. I don't know what that is, right? I don't know what you can do for me, but can you just tell me you love me, tell me you appreciate me? Like that also fills the bucket, and I don't mind making the decisions after that. And it's not as exhausting for some reason because I'm like, okay, there's a little bit more energy you just gave me to make these decisions because I can't delegate everything. Just like with my team, I can't delegate all the tasks to them. Like I still have to make decisions for clients and sales and you know invoices, and I still have to do all that, but from what I do give them, they do very well. But as you were saying about the pins, that's how I feel about my newsletters that go out every month for my business. My assistant does a great job. She's worked for me for almost 6 months now, and she still sends it to me for proofing. And I finally last week was like, listen, I trust you. You are going to do a fantastic job. You have for 6 months. If there is something that happens to be wrong on it, it's always fixable. A post on social media, a newsletter, everything is fixable. I mean, obviously, don't be racist, right? Or whatever. Don't be like political. But outside of those things, which I know she would never
Yeah.
be, it's like outside of that, we can fix it. And it's like I can't sit here and read a newsletter. That's why I don't do it. Because if I do that, I'm going to change everything. And then I would do the task that you've already done, and that would be totally pointless.
You're brilliant because
Oh,
so
well,
many
it's not
business
easy.
owners can't let
It's
go
not
like that.
easy. Yeah, it's
So many
not.
business owners, yeah,
Hmm.
you have to though. Yeah, and that is the way, like I said before, that is the way to free yourself is you have to let go of some of this
Yeah.
stuff. We have to let go of controlling everything. We have to let go of the perfection around it. And then we have to, I think, also hold the
Yes.
people in our lives to a higher standard. We're talking about our partners. It's great for them to
Yeah.
acknowledge, but it's a whole other thing for them to do the thing before they
Yes.
even need to be asked for it, asked to do it. That to me is like,
Yeah.
if you can do something without asking me what needs to be done or how to do it,
Yeah. And I'm
then we're
I'm
doing
lucky
pretty
because
good.
his love language
We're
is
doing
acts
pretty
of
good.
service. So that's how he shows his love. And so when we got back, I had to work the first day that we got back. And he stayed home and did all the laundry. I was like, this is the first time I appreciate the fact that your love language is acts of service because I didn't have to ask him to do it. I got home after working for about 8 hours that day, and he was like, okay, all the laundry's done. And I was like everything? He's like, yeah, everything's done. I was like, oh my God, thank you. You know?
See, and this is yeah, and this is the part where it's like, okay, can we just acknowledge the
Right.
huge gap here? The fact that as women, we
Like,
respond like that when men do something like the laundry,
that's
which
so
is not
true.
rocket science. It's so easy to do the laundry. Give me a break. We have washing machines, but
Right.
when they do the
That's so
laundry,
true.
when they do the dishes, when they vacuum, when they actually keep a calendar, we're like, "Oh, yay! He did this thing. That's just like
Yes,
a
that is
basic
so
adult
true.
activity."
That
I'm
is
not giving gold
hilarious.
stars
I
anymore
love
for that. I am not giving gold stars. If a man cannot do those things, I
I
can't
freaking
even.
love that. That was hilarious. But you're so right. I did give him gold stars for that, and I probably should have been like, okay, because what would they say? Okay.
That's the bare
Like,
minimum.
hey, I did the laundry
Yeah.
today. Like, okay.
Sorry,
That's
man.
cool. Okay. Oh my gosh, that's so true. I should have been like, well, you know what? Let me go through my list of what I did today and how many sales I made and calls I made and emails I sent and all the tasks I got done. I should do that. Yeah, that was a good one. That's hilarious. And every woman watching,
Hmm.
yeah,
Or next time you do the laundry,
yeah,
next
be
time you do
like,
the
I did the
laundry,
laundry
expect some applause.
today. And he's like, okay, I'm gonna need a gold star. Yes, I'm gonna need an applause. Thank you.
Can you imagine if we posted on Instagram every time we did something like did the laundry or folded towels or made dinner or
We should do that
whatever?
just to test it.
It nobody cares. But if a man were to do that, people would be like, "Oh, what an amazing man!
Well,
What
it's like
an
whenever
amazing
dads show
partner and
up for school
husband!"
pickup for some reason, it's like a big deal. Like, oh my God, you showed up. And I'm like, I mean, he does it 2 days a week. I literally do it every other day, but
Yep.
okay, guy. And I take her to school every day. Let's talk about that part. She wants to come at me with like, y'all ever pick me up? Like, girl, I bring you to
Uh-huh.
school every morning at 7:40 so you can go into the big door because I'm a great mom. Like, hello, Like, can we talk about that? Not
Hmm.
like, oh, dad's picking me up today. And I'm like, okay, great, cool. I'm so glad he is. That's awesome. Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, it's just these little things that we can start to pay attention to, the
I
little
dig
things that
that.
don't make sense that
Yeah,
we have
yeah.
accepted.
That's going to be our next
Yeah.
topic. That's our next topic for sure.
That's why I'm
Yeah, I
here.
can't wait. That's going to be
Yeah.
a good one. Yeah. Yeah, I enjoyed it. And
Oh,
anybody
this
that
was
wants to
good. This
comment,
was a
let us
good
know.
one.
What are you exhausted about decision or deciding on? What are some of the decisions you've had to make? Or give us some of your tips. Maybe you have some insight on like how we can also be better at making decisions and not being so tired at the end of it, right? Yeah, we'll take all that. We're about
Yes.
self-development here. That's why we
Yes.
do these. Same,
Absolutely. I love it. I always love talking to you. I love these topics. I
same,
always
same,
leave with some
same.
good little
All right,
tidbit.
guys, we'll catch you on the next one. And when is that going to be? It's a surprise. Never know.
We don't know.
Bye, guys.
We never know. That's how we do it. All right. Bye bye.